Hello, everyone. Welcome to Energy to Infinity. It's March 28th, 2018, and this is the right place to be if you're looking to learn more about essential oils. And the intention for this webinar, for me, for you, is to provide you with safe and natural alternatives to help you manifest really outstanding energy in your lives. That is the main direction of this particular webinar, although we're going to talk about oils for a lot of other things. And I want to make sure you understand that this is a modality that is truly effective. So beyond safe and natural, truly effective opportunity for you to work with something that really works, which is why I work with them. And my goal with you today by the end of the webinar is to make sure you feel really comfortable with how to troubleshoot any of your own health goals, and make sure you feel that essential oils are a safe modality and understand how they work, and help you get them into your home at the very best price with my free coaching if this is the right time for you to start, so that you can really step into what is your own vision of health. So with that said, I'm going to open up a little PowerPoint so that we can have a little bit of fun. All right, so we have new participants. Hello, hello. Let me just see if I can. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we've just launched into PowerPoint and set the intention. You can always check back with the recording a little bit later, which I'll send out to everyone who's registered this evening. And the goal here is to make sure you feel comfortable using essential oils in your own home and understand that it is a very safe and effective modality, and anybody can work with essential oils. If you got 2 hands and a nose and some skin, you have everything it takes to work with essential oils. So there are literally probably about 100 different oils, but we're going to focus on about 10 of them in the webinar, the most commonly used ones. Every oil has maybe as many as over a dozen uses. We're going to also focus in just like about 3 to 4 uses or benefits of each one for the sake of time, because we're going to try and keep this to an hour and be respectful of that. And I'm not sure what any of you may or may not already know about doTERRA. This is a doTERRA presentation, and I've chosen this specific grade of essential oils for a very particular reason. And I like to open up the webinar with letting you know why and a little bit about them, so that you can feel a little bit more connected to what their mission is, so that if you know that this is the right time to move forward with essential oils in your own home, you feel a little bit more comfortable with why they're doing what they're doing around the world. So essential oils have been around for thousands of years. They were our first form of medicine. And doTERRA is the largest essential oils company in the world. And what's really beautiful about them is that they have no outside funding and they have no debt. So they're able to really focus on their mission, which is, excuse me, all about global healing, because what they've done is dedicated all of their finances to ongoing education for us, the consumer, deep and ongoing scientific research, and humanitarian efforts around the world with their farming model. They've created a major revolution right now in the world of healthcare, supporting families as well as institutions who are looking for natural solutions for everyday living. And every home can really benefit from using essential oils. And there are everyday products as well. So if you're someone who's really looking to reduce the toxic load in your home environment for yourself and or your family for an improved quality of life, you stepped into the right webinar. And parents and healthcare providers are really turning to doTERRA at this point, because a lot of their options are just not delivering the results that they're looking for. And essential oils are free of chemicals, well, harsh chemicals. I mean, every plant is made up of natural chemicals, but free of any kind of dangerous chemicals. And there's no side effects with essential oils. There's no dependency. There's no addiction. And so you will not build up intolerance with them. As a matter of fact, you might find that over the course of time, you use a little bit less than you might in the beginning. And for people who don't have a lot of time to do a lot of research. doTERRA is a science company. They've done all of that research already, and we can access it at any time through their website, which leaves us a lot more time to do the fun things in our lives that are more important, like going on vacations and spending time with our families and friends. So for people who are really looking for long-lasting results and more personalized support, doTERRA has an oil for everything. So don't worry, no matter what it is, whether it's any kind of skin issue or gum issue or something more serious going on with your digestion or your immune system, we've got an oil for you. And doTERRA has a very unique level of testing with their oils. So for people who are concerned about purity, I know as a health practitioner, I'm super dedicated to making sure that the products I use and share with my clients are the purest possible. And doTERRA's done about 24 different tests on every single batch of oil. So they do third-party testing as well. And they've really raised the bar on the essential oil industry. There's no other company that does the type of testing they do. They also will certify their testing with an expiration date and a lot number. The expiration date, looks like my screen froze. Oh no. I hope I'm recording here. All right, well, we're about to find out. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on here for 1 second. And make sure that you guys can hear me. Hang on.
I hear you.
Can you hear me the whole time? Because for some reason, my face is showing up where Carrie's name is. And I don't see I see myself in her screen frozen.
I see you and I hear you.
All right.
Same here. I see you and I hear you.
All right. That's awesome. We're going to continue on. That was some weird technical glitch. So, yeah, so every single bottle gets an expiration date and a lot number. Now, the expiration date is not a couple months out, so don't worry about that. It's actually 2 years out. Hi, Roxanne, and hi, Margaret. And
hi.
The expiration date lets you know that you have about 4 years. So if you have essential oils in your house for 4 years, I'm coming over to check your pulse and make sure you're doing okay, because they shouldn't be there that long, unless you're replenishing them, of course. And then the lot number lets you go to a website if you'd like to write this down. It's Source to You, sourcetoyou.com. And that's a website you can go to, and you can actually plug in the lot number from your own bottle of essential oil and see the third-party test results. So when we say we're serious about testing, we're serious about testing. There's no other company that offers that kind of transparency around purity. There's no adulteration to the product. It comes straight from the earth. doTERRA really is offers us a level of efficacy with the use of our oils that we are expecting with an essential oil that we can rely on, which is why over 20 hospitals and growing now are using them and insisting on them. Should you ever be unsatisfied with something that you try, you can actually return it for a 100% credit to try something else that you like, or a 90% credit back to your credit card. So if anyone has any questions, Margaret, did you have any questions before I go into the rest of the webinar? I know you're just joining us. Welcome.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, I did promise an on-time raffle. Carrie was the only one in. So Carrie, you are going to win. Where did I put my roller? Oh, here it is. You're going to win this energy roller, and I'll be sending it out to you. We'll be in touch after the webinar. It has peppermint and wild orange and a little Roman chamomile, and it's
awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So do me a favor, make a note to email me, joyce@joycerockwood.com, and send me your mailing address, and I will send it out to you tomorrow.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Margaret, I'd like to make sure I can address people's top 3 health goals in the webinar. Did you have anything today that you were hoping to learn or focus on?
I didn't think about that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to mute you. But when you think of something, will you promise me that you'll unmute yourself and or type it in the chat and let me know how I can support you today?
Sure.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So here we go. CPTG oils. We'll talk about what that means. And these are amazing oils that you can use for home use. If anyone is on the webinar and is listening in because they have a practice and they're looking for a means of adding essential oils onto a practice, We can talk about that. You can always contact me after. And what we're going to do next is talk a little bit about the sourcing of the product and how doTERRA promises us a level of purity that we can rely on called certified pure therapeutic grade. It's a grade that they created in the industry because the industry is unregulated. So they source their plants all over the world. They harvest at the most opportune time. Every batch is rigorously tested, as I mentioned. And then they do third-party testing to make sure there's no contaminants, no toxins, no microorganisms, nothing whatsoever that would interfere with our expectations of what an essential oil should deliver in terms of the therapeutic value. So certified pure therapeutic grade, we say CPTG, and this is doTERRA's mission for making sure they can heal the globe. Our sourcing is done all over the world, and we source in over 40 countries. 26 of them are developing nations. And for people who love the idea of voting with their dollar, anyone here not like voting with their dollar? I love the idea that when I work with essential oils and when you work with them, that we're affecting other countries, right? So we farm in 26 different countries that are considered developing nations. And so doTERRA makes sure that those farms stay proprietary to the countries. And because they have succeeded so quickly as a company in now 9 years, almost 10, they give a tremendous amount back to these countries that are suffering from massive earthquakes, mudslides, etc. And so when we're working with our oils, it's nice to know that they're actually supporting these countries that we are getting our oils from. Because some of the most, unscathed soils in the world are those that have been untouched by Monsanto and are in these countries that unfortunately are very poverty stricken. But doTERRA has actually been recognized as reversing and reinventing the, reversing the poverty chain with their global farming model by Forbes. So, we do things like Days for Girls and distribute hygiene kits in countries where women don't have a means of menstrual care. And we're sitting on cardboard boxes in dark rooms for 7 days. We go in and we have missions for rescuing children out of sex trafficking circles. We go in and we make sure that the farmers have proper housing, safe working conditions, water lines where they were walking 5 miles to get dirty water at once. So these are the kinds of things that our dollar goes to when we're working with oils. So beyond healing ourselves, we get to heal other people. Okay, let's get into the science, guys. So how do essential oils work? Essential oils are effective. They are natural, safe, aromatic compounds that are extracted or distilled simply from plants. So they're pure plant extracts. So if anyone ever says to you, what's an essential oil? You can say, it's a pure plant extract. They contain hundreds of different aromatic compounds that provide very complex and versatile abilities to combat threats without your body building up any resistance. This is the beauty of them, okay? So you will not need more of them over time. You'll need less of them over time. They bring your body back into balance, and they address the body's issues at the root cause. They don't just deal with symptoms, okay? So we're dealing with things on a cellular level. And if you look at the top photograph on the left, it's a peppermint leaf magnified on the right with those purple sort of and white sacs. That's what represents the part of the plant that contains the essential oil that protects that plant or maybe attracts certain things to that plant. So when we squeeze the leaf, we're crushing those microscopic little vessels and the essential oil can get on our fingers. And then you see the next diagram shows us a cell. Okay, so that's a cell maybe in the human body. And an essential oil is extremely complex. One single drop of essential oil has 40 quintillion molecules, which means it can very efficiently squirm past the cell membrane. Now, in the middle of your cell, you have things like DNA, you have mitochondria, getting a little sciencey. Outside of the cell, you see that green blob, that might be something bacterial, which antibiotics can address, right? Now, when you get into the middle of the cell, you might have viral issues, but antibiotics cannot squirm past the cell membrane like an essential oil. So if you have something viral, antibiotics cannot help you at all. Essential oils can really work to address the human genome. And what they do is they support the cell in proper function. So they remind the cell that any impurities that are lying in there need to go away. It's kind of like having your own little butler and cleaning each of your cells on a very microcosmic level. Essential oils are super affordable. They are pennies per dose. 1 drop of peppermint oil is actually equal to about 28 cups of peppermint tea. So do the math. Get a lot of tea out of that. Okay, how do the oils work? Now, this is pretty powerful stuff, and I want to share this concept with you so that you understand how they're working and how they're affecting the brain, and why it is extremely important when you start working with oils that you work with a grade that is pure, because your brain is a pretty important organ the last time I checked. Now, our brain is exposed to the external environment. And so when you breathe in an essential oil, the aromatic compounds are stimulating the cells in the olfactory membrane. And the signals are going to the olfactory bulb, which is part of your limbic system. Okay? So your limbic system rules your emotions. It rules many other parts of your body. It rules the endocrine function of your body, autonomic responses in your body, sexual function, sleep, energy, thirst, hunger, circadian rhythms. So you can start to see how powerful essential oils can be as a modality. And they stimulate a part of your brain known as the amygdala, which is the part of your brain that stores emotions and memories too, right? So when you're dealing with an oil, sometimes you might smell something and it triggers you into something that happened in your childhood. Or maybe you walk into a bakery and you smell chocolate chip cookies and it reminds you of your grandmother. So you start to see how crucial it is. Now, the other thing I want to say, when you start working with essential oils, you don't want to buy them on Amazon, ever. You don't even want to buy doTERRA on Amazon. You always want to work with a reputable person who's having them make sure they get from the company to your door without anything in between. So when we work together, the oils come directly from doTERRA. They're based in Utah. And that assures you the level of purity that we can guarantee. We can't guarantee anything off of Amazon because people do rebottle, and they're doing their best to crack down on that. But you also don't get free coaching when you are buying things from Amazon. So you never want to buy your oils that way. So going back to your brain here for a moment, the vapors enter your nostrils when you breathe in an essential oil, okay? So let's say we're dealing with peppermint, pretty powerful oil. You put the oil this way, maybe on top of your hand for the sake of breathing it in. Woo! Good morning in the afternoon. The vapors pull into the sinus cavity, right? And then they fall into the mucous membrane, and they're absorbed into what's known as the olfactory epithelium. And that's where the receptors detect odor. Now, the receptors are these neurons that transmit that into the olfactory bulb of the brain. And the olfactory bulbs are not outside of your brain. They are part of your brain. And so that's part of the neocortex, if you want to get a little deep, and part of the limbic system. And so the limbic system, as we mentioned before, if you're just chiming in, is extremely vital in controlling your breathing, your respiratory system, your cardiovascular health. People on the webinar, I know, we're wanting to deal with hormonal balance. And so there's a really easy way to affect your mood within 22 seconds flat of breathing in an essential oil. So 90% of all human behavior is tied to your limbic system. 90%, that is huge. Do you understand how much power we have as individuals to change our behavior through smell? This is a powerful modality, guys. And it's a subconscious part of your body, the limbic system. And it's also tied to your autonomic nervous system. And your limbic system, as we talked about a moment ago, is really easily influenced through aroma. I'm still smelling this. Powerful stuff. What's an essential oil? We mentioned a pure extract from the plant, and it comes from seeds, bark, stems, roots, flowers, and other parts of the plant. If you're just joining the webinar, we are recording, so don't worry. I will send out a recording after, and you can watch the first few minutes that you may have missed. essential oils are extremely concentrated. They're about 70 times more potent than herbs, which is why they're so affordable, because we use very little at a time. We talked about peppermint tea being equivalent, peppermint 1 drop being equivalent to about 28 cups of tea. Okay, so anyone who is not yet using essential oils at home and wants to get started, you're going to want to have some basic tools to do this successfully. And if anyone has joined the webinar, I see a lot of new names. Myra, welcome. And if you have a question, Myra, and you'd like to just chat, go right ahead. Just speak up. I'm here to support you. My goal in this webinar is to provide you with the information so that you feel comfortable using essential oils as a modality in your own home, and we can troubleshoot your health goals today. Okay, so a diffuser. If you were on the Plant-Based Champions Summit, you saw me with my diffuser, and I have it going all the time. It's quiet and it oscillates and it emits essential oils into the air. All you do is fill it with water and put in a few drops of the essential oil you'd like to work with. This is the 10-hour diffuser. It has a 2 or 5-hour setting as well. It has automatic shut off, and the light does rotate, and it can also just be completely shut if you're at night and you don't want to be disturbed by that. Fractionated coconut oil we always use for diluting our essential oils properly because they're so potent. It's really easy to get more surface coverage when you're using the fractionated coconut oil, and it's always liquid at room temp. So it's a little different than the regular coconut oil you might use on your skin or for your cooking. It's fragrance free. It absorbs into the skin extremely fast. It doesn't leave a greasy residue, but it also moisturizes beautifully. So this is one of my big size rollers I use on my belly and hips. And if you put the essential oil on the skin, you can see there's no residue, there's no greasiness. How yummy is that? So it's great because when you're using essential oils on your face and they're diluted, they won't leave your face all shiny and greasy, but they really leave your skin super soft. You can reach right through your screen and feel my skin and tell me if I'm telling the truth. Okay, the third thing you're going to want to have on hand, you do not need a fancy degree to work with essential oils. This is the beauty of the modality, is that you just need a couple of books. The Modern Essentials book and the Emotions book are really all you need. There's one other book called Oil Life, which is great. And these both come in the form of apps. And when we work together, I help you get them for free. That's another bonus of working with a coach. You get free coaching and you get free goodies. I'm also going to be offering some great freebies at the end of the webinar for those of you ready to get started. So simple, very simple. The Modern Essentials book we use to troubleshoot any kind of medical conditions. So if we opened up the back of that book in the index, we might see things like, indigestion, insomnia, cancer. You can even look up things like that serious in that book, okay? The emotions, and then it will tell you what oils to work with and how to work with them. We work together when you're ready to get started with oils. You get a free coaching session with me for an hour, and then you have a lot of ongoing coaching. I go into the books and how to use them a little bit more in depth than I will in this webinar, but they're super easy to use. The app is super easy to use. It's on my phone. I use it all the time. The Emotions book allows us to troubleshoot our emotions with essential oils. How beautiful is that? What if you wake up one morning and you've got a big work day, or you've got kids and you've got a lot on your plate, or you've got a big weekend and you're just not feeling it and you need inspiration, you need motivation. If you're an artist and you're looking for creativity, you can work with your oils in all capacities because every single oil offers us 4 tiers of benefits: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So pick one and you get to work with any of those aspects. Veggie caps are for using our oils internally when some of the oils might be a little hot, like oregano is a hot oil. Clove is a hot oil. So they are little caps. You separate the 2 halves, and then you put in a couple of drops of your oil of choice, recap it, and then swallow it with some water. And you can take essential oils that are CPTG grade internally. I would never recommend buying oils off the shelf of a health food store and putting them in your body, let alone even putting them on your skin, because they're not tested. Even if the bottle says pure, it's not tested the way these are tested. A lot of companies say they do organoleptic testing. Do you know what that means? They open the bottle, and they smelled it. That's not really how you test an oil. There's a lot of science behind this because it's an aromatic science. Thousands upon thousands of scientific documents backing up this modality. Okay, how to use them. Aromatically, breathing them in affects our mood, right? Purifying the air in our homes, maintaining a healthy breathing passageway, applying them topically allows us to troubleshoot skin issues, dermal things, cellular issues, working really fast. You know, when you put an essential oil on the soles of your feet, we do that sometimes because the soles of the feet have the largest pores, and your bloodstream can take essential oils in 30 seconds flat. Well, they could take the essential oils in seconds, but in 30 seconds flat, you can actually affect all the cells in your body. And it takes about 20 minutes for them to affect your organs. Excuse me. And then internally, we can use them as a dietary supplement for targeted wellness, for digestion, for supporting us. Maybe if we're opening up our palate in the kitchen, you can use things like ginger and rosemary oil for really supporting your body's systems best. And just putting in sometimes 1 drop is enough because they're so concentrated. Also, aromatically, we can use them into, if people are looking for oils for, meditation, we can use them to elevate intuition, activate expansion, and use them in any kind of ritual we might want to elevate. Using them topically allows us to increase our connection to our chakras. Using the oils on the top of the head or the back of your neck are other great points for application. And relieving any kind of emotional discomforts. I like to show this wheel in the presentation because the science is really important here. This is not a woo-woo modality. And it shows you how really dynamic the oils are. You can use them for calming, for restorative, for uplifting, or for protecting. There are different oils for clarifying the body or energizing. We're going to talk about how to energize to infinity today, right? We're going to talk about oils that help us really do that, if energy is a really important aspect of your well-being and your vision of health. So you see this properties wheels, and no, it's a little tiny, it's a little hard to see, but it's on the doTERRA website, and you can access it. It shows you that there's different types of properties for different types of oils, and because of that, their chemical constituents have different effects on our body. Certain chemicals emit and release certain responses in the body. Okay, so we're going to go into tips and safety. This is a 101, so I do get into the science a little bit, but not too crazy. So now we're going to go into tips and safety. Do not put essential oils directly in your eyes, in your ears, or up your schnoz, other than inhaling them, okay? We want to dilute them always with fractionated coconut oil. We want to follow the label directions. So we talked about taking essential oils internally. Not all the oils are for internal use, but if the oils, where's my camera, have supplemental facts on the side, that means you're safe to take them internally. When you do drink them, here's my glass, always out of glass. Never plastic, okay? Always glass or stainless steel or ceramic or porcelain. And I'm gonna grab my lime oil today. It's the oil of zest for life. Talking about increasing your energy, you could use lime for that. So the reason is essential oils are very powerful. They break down petrochemicals, and plastic would melt in about 20 seconds if you put a drop of oil on a plastic cup, which is a dynamic thing. If you're someone who has hormonal imbalance and you're looking to increase energy, you can start balancing out your hormones by using essential oils in your drinking water because they break down accumulation of synthetics in the endocrine system. Wow. Yes. Okay. Lemon. We are going to talk right now about the top 10 most commonly used oils. If anybody has a question, please feel free to just unmute yourself and ask away. This is not meant to be all about me. Although I do love the spotlight, my mom will tell you. So if you have a question about anything as I'm going through here, if not, you can save them to the end. And when I stop the recording, you can stay on and we'll have some time together. There are about 100 different oils that doTERRA offers us. We're going to talk about the most commonly used ones in this particular presentation. Some people were talking about digestion and asking me what they can use for digestion. Lemon is amazing for not only purifying and cleansing the air we breathe, but for cleansing our bodies and aiding our digestive system and supporting healthy respiratory function. So if anybody out there is looking to support their breathing, and if you're looking for an energized mood, you're gonna go to citruses: lemon, lime, orange. You can use lemon topically, although we recommend using any of the citrus oils topically at night because they heighten photosensitivity. And so we want to be careful about that. This can go in your drinking water. Oh, if you want to talk about affordability, anytime people say to me, oh, essential oils are so expensive, I look at them like, I think you need to be working with me because they're not. Lemon oil, this bottle at wholesale is $10, which brings it down to 4 cents a drop. Now, I put 1 drop of lime in here, and I would have put 1 drop of lemon. Do you know how much organic lemons cost these days? They're about $1, $1.50 a pop. Well, you can use this in your drinking water 3 times a day, and that's 12 cents. Hello. Does anyone feel like they just stepped into a time warp and stepped back in time? And you can use this to clean too. How would you use it to clean? You'd put it in a spray bottle, glass, of course, maybe 10 or 15 drops, and fill the rest with water and shake it up and spray. And that's it. Lavender. So if anyone out there has asked me about, some people have asked me about improving their sleep. So lavender is great for easing tension in the body, easing any kind of skin irritations, and calming us for bedtime. It's also yummy to use as like a room spray or a sheet spray for easing yourself into a nice calm sleep, or using your bath water. How yummy is that? Okay. So it's also the oil of communication. If you want to talk about the emotional value of lavender. So if you're going to be connecting with someone, you're nervous about your speech, if you are a public speaker, if you're a teacher, lavender is a great oil to work with. Peppermint. Okay, energy to infinity. It is the oil of energy, right? It's actually the oil of a buoyant heart in the emotional realm, but it's a beautiful oil to use to really open up your respiratory system and clear up your breathing channels. And for digestion, yes, you can actually use it to support a healthy digestive system, reduce gas and bloating, or any kind of common, typical like indigestion experiences you might have on the regular or occasionally. Now, here's an interesting thing. You might hear me talking about some of the oils as doing so many different things, or maybe you're going to hear me talk about lavender. I didn't mention it's good for reducing gas, and then tell you peppermint is good for reducing gas. Well, this is one of the reasons why I love this modality so much, is because it's so versatile. What if you don't feel like peppermint on Tuesday and you need it? Well, if you have gas issues, you can use your lavender, right? So that's the beauty of working with the oils, is that you have a lot of flexibility. If you're not crazy about a certain scent, you can also use it on the bottoms of the feet, okay? Melaleuca. Now, this is what you're going to use. I use this one daily. You're going to use this one daily for cleansing your skin and rejuvenating skin, or dealing with any unsightly little blemishes. You can use it for increasing your immune system. A lot of people ask me about immunity, improving their immune system, boosting their immunity. You can also use it to protect yourself against any kind of environmental threats, whether that's people came over your house and they were coughing and sneezing, or there's something in the air. There was maybe a forest fire. You want to protect yourself that way. Now, in this webinar, I might not go into all the ways that you can use the oils outside of like their actual benefits, but when you're ready to get started, don't worry. I will make sure you have so much support and get all of the direct application information at that time. This is really an appetizer for you to understand a little bit more about how the oils work without overwhelming you. Okay, and yeah, you know what this is great for too? A lot of times people have gum irritations or a little canker sore. So if you go to the dentist and you're not crazy about that, you can use it on your gums to numb your gums. Oh, also great for any ear pain. Put a drop on a cotton ball and just tape the cotton ball to the outside of the ear with a little like first aid adhesive. It'll fumigate the ear channel. Okay, oregano. Now, oregano, this is, if you want to talk about boosting your immune system and boosting energy, wow, this is like times 1,000. So you can use this one in a veggie cap. You don't want to use it directly on your skin. You would have to dilute it. It's very potent, more potent than any other oregano oil you'll ever experience. It's also great for digestion. We talked about that a moment ago. We also talked about breathing, respiratory support. It's great for that as well. And for cleaning, for those looking to reduce toxic load. Now you can mix oils together. So you can do a bottle of lemon and then throw in like 1 drop of oregano. You might not want your entire house smelling like oregano, but you could cut it with lemon or some other oils, and that's the beauty of them, is you can blend them. And that can be used in your kitchen. You would dip a toothpick in there and swirl it in some olive oil for a little bit of a zip. Frankincense. Anyone ever hear of frankincense in church? You know why? The oil of truth. Yes. It's also known as the king of oils because it has such a broad spectrum of applications. We can use it for pretty much anything. So when I'm making custom rollers, I typically add 1 drop of frankincense no matter what I'm doing because it actually elevates the power of all the other oils. It probably has the longest list of health benefits out of any oil on the planet. It's known as your anti-aging oil. So if you're here and you're looking to boost energy, yes, you can use frankincense to boost energy. Can you use it to deal with wrinkles and blemishes on the skin? 1,000%. If you know someone who had scarring from a pregnancy or stretch marks, 1,000%. Can you use it to deal with head tension? Can you use it to deal with cuts or any kind of irritations on the skin? 1,000%. And if you're looking to elevate your brain function, 28%, they've seen 28% increase in oxygen flow to the brain with the use of frankincense. Crazy, right? And yes, you can take it internally. Now, it is a pretty bitter taste, so if you're not crazy about the flavor, you can always put it on the back of your neck or on your temples. Okay, digestin. I am a certified colon hydrotherapist, and so this is a pretty popular oil in my world. So if you are someone who suffers with any kind of digestive malaise, any upset stomach stuff, gas, bloating, any kind of, discomforts with constipation or even diarrhea on the regular, just know that loose bowels, peppermint is known in scientific research to actually alleviate that from the colon. And digestin is the first oil we're seeing in this presentation that is a blend. It's not a single oil, right? All the other oils were coming from trees or flowers or plants or foods that exist, but digestin there's no digestin tree. So we talked about doTERRA being this really beautiful company that does all this research. They've discovered that when they couple all of the ingredients that you see in that blue panel there, ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel, that those oils work really beautifully synergistically to address discomforts going on in our digestive system. You can also use this oil emotionally. How would you do that? Well, have you ever had a day where you felt like you bit off more than you could chew? So you can use this right on the gut, diluted. It's an internal oil, so yes, you can add it to your drinking water. Kind of tastes like black licorice. Here's another blend from doTERRA. It's called Breathe. And all the ingredients in that sort of gold panel there will let you know it's a very invigorating oil. So if we're talking about energy, yes, increasing your energy with this respiratory blend. Very powerful for maintaining breathing passageways that are very open and clear, putting you at ease and minimizing any threats that are in the air seasonally, right? And it's great for sleep. Seems a little counterintuitive that an oil that might have peppermint and eucalyptus, which feels very energizing, right, might be good for sleep. It does, because it does soothe the respiratory system. When we breathe clearer, we sleep better. That's an oil that actually, let me point out, that's an oil that we would not use internally. So if we looked at the side of the bottle, it's called Breathe, there's its name, but there's no supplement facts whatsoever, no supplement facts. So how are we going to use it? Well, we can put a drop into our palm. We can put a drop or two into our diffuser and breathe it in. We can rub it on our chest. I'm using it pure just for the sake of, this presentation, but we actually have it in a roller. You can rub it right on the chest if you're going to go for a jog or do some yoga or meditate. or just be at your desk. Okay. Deep blue. So some people have pain issues, looking to deal with head tension, looking to deal with shoulder and back pain, lower back, knees, ankles, any pain going on in the body whatsoever. Deep blue on you. It comes a few different ways. You can use it straight as the oil on the far left in that little 5 milliliter bottle. Okay. Most of the oils that doTERRA has are these large bottles, 15 mil. This is a 5 mil bottle. The large bottle has 250 drops. The small has 85. The deep blue always comes in the 5 mil. And it also comes in a roller bottle that you see right next to it. And it comes in the lotion that you see in the little white background photograph there. So that's the deep blue rub. A lot of athletes use that. And elders use it on their joints, right? And then you can't take this oil internally. So doTERRA beautifully formulated a supplement, an herbal complex that is anti-inflammatory that allows us now to reduce our head tension or any kind of inflammation or pain in the body that might be going on without synthetics building up in the system. So this is your answer to over-the-counter synthetics, and you can use this on the daily because it will not become addictive. What's in it? Wintergreen, camphor, peppermint. We're talking about the oil now. Blue tansy, blue chamomile, helichrysum, which is amazing for bones and blood. I used helichrysum on my finger the other day because I accidentally shaved off. Don't listen if you get weirded out by medical stuff. Oops, sorry for the curse. I literally shaved off the tip of my nail. You can imagine it was bleeding pretty profusely, even though it's like a tiny little square, tiny little piece. But I just put helichrysum on it and the pain went away in about 8 seconds. And it'll help to like give the blood a healthy sense of stopping or health clotting. And then osmanthus. So this is a very invigorating oil, everyone. And this is going to be like icy hot kind of sensation on your skin. Very, very invigorating, very calming and soothing to the muscles. Neck pain is amazing on that. Okay, you know how this is also great? Makes you feel a little bit more flexible physically. Makes you feel more flexible emotionally if you're a rigid person. Okay. On Guard! On Guard is amazing for immune system support. Now, why? Well, it has wild orange, which is great for your immune system. We think of vitamin C. All the citrus oils from doTERRA come from the rind of the fruit. They're cold pressed. And it has clove in it. Now, clove, if you do not know, measures the highest in the world on what's known as the ORAC scale, which measures the oxidative strength of different foods. Clove is the highest. It measures 1,078,000 on the scale. Blueberries measure 2,500, just to give you a sense of how powerful it is. Cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary. You can imagine how amazing this oil smells. And you can use it as an alternative to synthetic options for boosting your immune system. When your immune system is supported, guess what goes up? Your energy. When you support the body's natural antioxidant defenses, you can use On Guard. When you're looking for healthy respiratory support, besides Breathe, you can also use On Guard. For cleansing the air in your home, amazing for that because of its antimicrobial and antibacterial antioxidant impact. So you can use this as a hand sanitizer. Now doTERRA released, you see in the middle, but they have a number of other products. So I know some people on the webinar are looking for ways to reduce toxic load in their homes. By the way, the reason we do that is because we're breathing in chemicals all day long, and it can be extremely dangerous over the course of time. You might not realize it because on a daily basis, it might not feel horrible. But over the course of a lifetime, these kinds of chemicals breathing in on the regular can dampen your immune system, definitely affect your respiratory system, and definitely do things to you neurologically. They can dampen your neurons and start to cause brain problems. So, we see things with our children now being born that we've never really seen before. And a lot of it is related to the chemicals that our bodies are exposed to on the regular and how that's affecting our hormonal balance. So if you're looking to overhaul toxic load in your home, cleaning supplies, they have a cleaner concentrate, they have a foaming hand wash, they have these little beadlets you can pop orally in your mouth so you're not using horrible chemical-based like breath fresheners. You can now improve your immune system by popping a beadlet. You can also use, I think I said laundry detergent, toothpaste. A lot of the toothpastes on the market are actually ruining the balance of the balance in the stomach. The chemicals in the toothpaste are throwing the stomach chemicals out of balance. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, so let's go on to the next oil. There is no other oil. That was 10 oils. That was fast. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about now is doTERRA's #1 product. Well, wait a minute, Joyce. We just looked at oils. These don't look like oils. What are you talking about? I thought doTERRA was an essential oil company. I know, I did too. What's going on here? Well, they're actually a science company. They do make amazing essential oils, but they also make amazing other daily lifestyle products. So for someone who is looking, if anyone is looking for a more complete experience with addressing their health goals, their daily supplement is something I recommend because it's the backbone of your health. And they have it in a vegan option for those who are more particular and don't want fish oils in their body. That's fine. And I'd like to tell you about this because I've seen really profound shifts with my clients who start using this and add oils, and they get faster shifts when they're using the supplement than if they don't. So it's 3 bottles. It's a 1-month supply. And for anyone who's skeptical out there about supplements, like I was for 20 years telling my clients not to use them, I'm a pretty good testimonial for them because I take them and I've seen some amazing shifts. So if you're looking for more energy, if you're looking for cardiovascular health, if you're looking for better sleep or digestion, better detoxification of your body overall, better bowel function, better immune support, better hair, skin, teeth, nails, and hormonal balance, basically any health issue you have is going to be addressed by the Lifelong Vitality. Okay, so it's 3 bottles. The first bottle is their antioxidant blend. It also has a cellular energy component and longevity. So if we're talking about boosting your energy to infinity, this is one of the easiest ways to do it. The second bottle is their omega. Their omega is their 369 fatty acid, which is going to help with brain function. And it's unique. People ask, what's so unique about this supplement, Joyce? Well, there's no other essential oil-based omega in the world. That's it. That's the truth. And those 9 essential oils we talked about at the beginning of the webinar, essential oils usher right past the cell membrane. They go past the blood-brain barrier. And so the essential oils usher the nutrients and the micronutrients of the alpha CRS, the cellular complex, and the next bottle, the multivitamin known as the microplex MVP. They usher the nutrients of those formulas right into the cell for proper and maximum absorption, which is why this works so differently than most. Their whole food complex is going to be things like kale, collards, dandelion, all whole foods based, okay? There's no fillers in here. There's no gluten. There's no, garbage in the supplement. It's all whole food based nutrition. Now, if you're someone who's looking for a more focused support and looking for complete digestive support, which is also, now when you focus on your digestion, you're going to focus on sleep. You're going to address your immune system because like 90% of your immune system is harbored in your gut. Your brain is completely connected to what's going on in your gut. There's science on this now for many years. There's over a dozen books on this, if not many more than that. And so if you want to have a digestive enzyme to support the breakdown of your food properly, so you're not so gassy and bloated, and it's going to help turn that food into proper energy that you can now use and absorb and utilize, you'd want to add on a digestive enzyme, the Terrazyme. And the PB Assist is their probiotic with a prebiotic, so you can start repopulating the healthy gut flora for proper bowel activity. And then the Mito2 Max is another great supplement for anyone looking to really boost energy and get off of caffeine or any other false stimulants, or just looking for more natural ways of supporting energy in the body. It's an herbal complex, so it promotes the function of mitochondria in the cells, which are what house the DNA, which are what promote oxygen flow into the cell. So there's no stimulants in the Mito2 Max. Now, the reason I mention these 3 is because when you take the Lifelong Vitality, doTERRA actually lets you add on 3 other supplements to the pack for a major discount of just $20 a bottle. If you're brand new to supplements, you might not know, but you're probably not going to find a probiotic on the market that's quality for less than $50 or $60. So you can add it onto the pack for 20 bucks. It's a month-long supply. Same thing with the digestive enzyme, same thing with the Mito-2. So you're saving about 40% off of the wholesale. Okay, so when you start using oils, you can get them at wholesale price when we work together. Okay, does anybody have any questions right now before I go to the next piece? You can either unmute yourself, or Myra, I think you are already unmuted. Just let me know if there's anything you came to the webinar to learn that I haven't addressed yet. Please feel free to chime in. Everyone is so quiet. Okay, next slide. So those are the top 10 oils. Those are the supplements. And if there's an oil or a health issue that you felt was not addressed in the webinar, trust me, I will help you, and there is an oil for it, and we can discuss that. But for those of you who felt like this was pretty cohesive and this is the right time for you to start, I do offer some in-webinar freebies. And they're really valuable because I want to make sure that you have proper support, because I want to make sure that your vision of health is something we can achieve together. So when you get started, we're going to look at some kits in a moment that you can get started with. doTERRA puts together these amazing kits at a discount as well. When you get started with what's considered about 100 PV, it's about $100. You get some freebies from me. These are from me, not from doTERRA. So they'll literally be sent from me with my love and a love note. You would get a free bottle of the wild orange, which is great for energizing your body, creating motivation, increasing immune system support. You get a free magazine as well, which has some other great tips and suggestions on how to work with your oils. I'll make sure you get the Healthy Can Be Simple guide so you know how some of the other oils that you can work with work that we didn't go over yet. And you can also get a free reference card until you might have a book to troubleshoot with. And you'll also get a free 1-hour oils coaching with me, okay? So that's with me only, no one else. That's so we can go over your personal health goals, make sure we have some protocols and you know how to use your oils more specifically, and ask me questions you're too shy to ask me right now in the webinar. And then you also can have some ongoing education so you can work at the pace that feels most comfortable for you. So we have a private Facebook group for customers only. We do raffles in there, and you have ongoing support. So what I'm going to do, now I usually ask if anyone this is the right time to get started with oils. I usually ask if you'd like to get started with small bottles or big bottles. So if there's anyone who feels like this is the right time for them and they want to chat with me now, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'll go over what are considered the two most popular kits that most people start with. There are a number of kits, okay? I did in my last email to you give you a link so you could see the other kits, because if I show you these two and you feel a little limited and you want more, you can start with a larger kit and get more value. But sometimes people like to start out small and then build their collection over time. So with doTERRA, it's really easy. You can have your oils at wholesale price, and you can start with a kit. And when you get a kit, you actually get a free membership, which allows you to try anything else you'd like for an entire year and get what you want at 25% off wholesale discount, which is a really nice benefit because there's no obligation to buy anything for the entire year at all. You have the option of trying something if you'd like to try something. And for those people who are more interested in getting things on the regular because they can see this being a modality that really fits into their family's lifestyle and their vision of health, they do have a very generous rewards program, which I can tell you about when you're ready to get started. But you don't have to buy something every month if you don't want to. You can just buy when you want. For people who want to buy something every month, I've redistributed all of my other purchases into my doTERRA membership because I get points for everything I buy, and I get things like free frankincense, which is probably one of the most expensive oils they have. So if you're already buying things in other places, instead of thinking of this as an extra cost to your family, you want to think of this actually as a benefit because you can get a lot of things for free, including your shipping reimbursed in their rewards program. You can also get an oil for free every month. A lot of great benefits to that. But focusing in on the next two kits, I'm just going to focus on these two. The first is a great kit for someone who really sees themselves starting with small bottles, the 5 ml size. And this kit is wonderful because it has the top 10 oils we totally just reviewed. So you now know how each of them work, and you get a booklet with the kit in that nice little box, and it'll remind you what the oil's purposes are and how they work and their benefits. So it's the top 10, and then you also get those little beadlets I talked about. I took a little sample of the On Guard a moment ago. They give you beadlets in On Guard and Peppermint. On Guard is the protective blend for your immune system. And that kit is $150. It saves you $36.50 below the wholesale cost. So if you were going to buy all these things individually, this kit would be that much more. So when you cluster them in a kit, doTERRA gives you a nice little discount. You actually get a secondary discount because you get a membership, which is normally $35. You get it for free with this kit. So you're saving over 70 bucks right off the bat, which is like half the cost of the kit. And if you want to renew your membership after the year, you can. doTERRA will actually renew it for you for $25. And every year that you want to renew your membership, they will send you a big bottle of the peppermint oil for free. So now your membership just dropped in price to about $4.50. How cool is that? Okay, for people who want to start with the big bottles, okay, that's for someone who feels like this modality is a little bit more, you're already connected to it and you feel like you're ready to dive in a little bit more. This is the same collection of oils with the big bottles. So these are 250 drops versus the 85 drops, okay? Now, we mentioned the Deep Blue. It's at the top here. This top bottle, it's always in the 5 ml, but all the other bottles, you get for 3 times the amount of oils here. But if you're a consumer and you're looking at price and value, you'll notice this kit is $150. This kit is $275. Now it's 3 times the amount of oils, but it's less than double in price. So not only do you get that savings, but you also get a free 4-hour diffuser. So if you don't have a diffuser yet, this might be a better kit or a better value for you to start with. Plus you get the free membership, $35 right on top of that. You save that. And then you save $86.25 by clustering all these oils together and getting them at the same time. Now, why are these oils all clustered at the same time? Because they're the most commonly used oils, and you're going to probably find that you use most of them every day. And doTERRA's way of supporting you in revamping your health, if you want to dive in, is by giving them to you at a discount so that you feel like you're armored when anything comes up. Like I said, they do have some bigger kits, and you can look at the sheet that I sent in the last email. If you feel like these kits are limiting you and you want to take a bigger dive, you can do that. If you're ready to get started, okay, anyone who's in the webinar right now, if you're ready to get started, the first 3 people who submit their orders, you can go right online right now if you want, okay? The link is in the last email I sent you. It's mydoterra.com/Joyce Rockwood, okay? If you are ready to get started right now, you'll get all the in-webinar freebies, and I'll also send the first 3 people an extra free roller. So I've got 3 very unique rollers here that we didn't even review in the webinar. I've got a Motivate roller, which is great for encouraging. And then I've got a Cheer roller, which is also great for uplifting. These are all energy rollers. And then I've got a Melaleuca roller, which is great for energy because it boosts the immune system and it's good for skin blemishes. So if anyone watching the webinar right now is one of the first 3, or the first 3, and you can go online and you can just fill out the form that I sent in the link in the last email, you'll get one of those rollers, first 3 in that order: Motivate, Cheer, and Melaleuca. And if anyone watching the webinar feels like they were very empowered by the presentation and wants to share the modality with friends, I give some free gifts. So if you're ready to get started and share with friends, I will send you a free goodie bag with tons of samples in it that you can use some for yourself and give to 5 friends. And if you want to hold a class in a webinar format, just like this one, you and your friends, I've got this amazing 9-hour diffuser. When 5 friends show up to the webinar, you get this diffuser for free. How's that for generosity? Here it is, brand new, still in the plastic, still in the box. So if that's something that you feel very drawn to because you felt like this information was very empowering, you just send me a quick email. The first person to say yes and books it can get the diffuser and 5 people show up, but you'll definitely get the goodie bag regardless of that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stay on the webinar. I'm gonna close the recording in a moment. I wanna thank everyone who's watching the recording right now for taking time out of your life to learn a little bit more about essential oils. I think one of the most important things we can do as individuals is up our self-care so that we can go out in the world and help others, right? When we're feeling better, we're in a more generous space of giving, which is why I like giving these gifts. And if this is the right time for you to get started, totally awesome. I am here for you. If this was a time for you to just chime in and learn about oils because you were curious and weren't sure how they worked, and you're not sure yet if this is the right time to move forward, that's okay too. I just want to say that when you feel like the time is right, I hope you'll think of me. And you get the free coaching. You get all the goodies when you're ready to start right now. And the recording is live for 24 hours. Okay, so for anyone who's submitting their order during the recording, you'll still get the webinar freebies that you saw with the free coaching. For anyone who's submitting their order right now, you're gonna get your option. If you're one of the first 3, you're gonna get your option of the rollers. Okay, so those are the in-webinar freebies. And if you have questions that I did not answer, if you have health goals that you feel were not addressed in this webinar, I'm here to make sure that you feel properly supported. You can send me an email at joyce@joycerockwood.com. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy life to learn a little bit more about these oils, and hope to see you again sometime really soon.